There's some exciting news, maybe, potentially, with Jordan Peterson and Mark Driscoll. Mark Driscoll, for those of you who know who that is, he is a pastor that was the most popular pastor in the United States for a significant amount of time, about 10, 15 years ago. And there was the church fell apart. It's called Mars Hill. And there was some controversy and some scandal that was involved in that. But I've been watching Mark Driscoll ever since prior to that. When I was going through seminary 15 years ago, he was in my ear on a regular basis and ministered to me in powerful ways. So I've really loved Mark Driscoll. But when everything fell apart, I was just constantly trying to figure out, okay, is there truth to this? Is it just on one side? Does Mark have something to say about this? What's his side of the story? Because I was hearing everybody else's story, but not his. And since then, he's recovered quite a bit. So now he's a pastor down in Phoenix, Arizona. And his ministry seems to be picking up steam once again. And so I don't know what's going to happen here, but Michaela Peterson went to Mark's church this Easter Sunday. And that's significant because I've also been a big fan of Jordan Peterson ever since 12 Rules for Life came out and ever since he was on the Joe Rogan podcast, 5 years ago. Been a big fan of his, and pretty much everything he produces I've been consuming and doing my best not to throw the baby out with the bathwater. There's some things that I feel like Peterson is off with, especially when it comes to Christianity, which is why this is so exciting, because somewhere in the last year and a half, 2 years, Michaela Peterson has given her life to Christ, or so she claims. She is a Christian, a born-again believer, as she would say. And Peterson has been dancing around whether or not the resurrection is actually a historical fact or if it's just a spiritual truth that we kind of apply to our lives. And it seems like Peterson has a good, strong grip on Orthodox Christianity and Catholicism, but I don't think, from what I've heard from him, it doesn't seem like he has a very good grip on evangelical Christianity. And of course, there's many different denominations within that, but I don't feel like he has a really good grip there. And so this is really exciting because I personally feel, this is just an opinion of mine, I don't mean to dog anybody or put anybody on a pedestal either, but I feel like Mark Driscoll, as far as just raw talent to bring the truth out and to articulate things right off the top of his head, to write things really fast and have his content be incredibly valuable and accurate, it seems like Mark Driscoll maybe is the most talented preacher in America right now. Has the most gifting, the most brains. And regardless of whether or not he has the character to do that, and I'm not saying that I agree with absolutely every aspect of his theology either, but Mark Driscoll is incredibly gifted. And I'm trying to picture, okay, who would I love to sit down across from Jordan Peterson and have him describe evangelical Christianity and defend the things that need to be defended to Jordan Peterson? Who would be able to really go head to head with Jordan Peterson? And of course, MacArthur, great guy, Piper, great guy, several other men out there that could probably do a decent job, but I really feel like Mark Driscoll could nail it. And it just so happens that Michaela, because she was having, I think it was mold issues down in Florida, if I remember correct. They were down in Florida, and she had mold issues in her house, and she just couldn't do it because of all of her autoimmune stuff. And so she moved to Phoenix for 3 months, and there's Mark Driscoll's church. So she attended that church on Easter Sunday, and she said that she cried throughout the entire service. So this is unique because of Michaela's influence over her dad, Jordan. She's probably, her and Jordan's wife are the two most influential people in his life that really help shape and form him, and they just have massive influence. And so if Michaela, this is my hope, is that the Daily Wire somehow comes out with something in the very near future where Michaela points her dad to Mark Driscoll and they reach out. It just wouldn't surprise me. I'm not a prophet, but it wouldn't surprise me if Jordan Peterson and Mark Driscoll sit down together and do a podcast with the Daily Wire, and that might really do a couple of things. One, it might really help Jordan Peterson understand Christianity from an evangelical perspective in a way that is more correct. And also, it might really propel Mark Driscoll back into the stratosphere of influence with Jordan Peterson. And I hope that that would be a good thing. I hope that Mark Driscoll has shored up everything in his life that caused that original downfall with Mars Hill. But I just wanted to put this notification out there. I think that something exciting might happen here. I hope it does. And I hope that we're all blessed by it. God bless y'all.